Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm back again with another DC Universe Online video. This is going to be taking place in Tartarus, but this is going to be the raid of the new DLC right now, Metal Part 2. This is going to be taking place in Tartarus, like I just said, and likewise, this is going to be Lady Blackhawk that we're going to be versing right now as the first boss in Phoenix. Okay, so this is going to be my take. What happened in this was very different towards what I was going to be doing. So I was going to be doing a DPS form, and this is my DPS loadout that I was going to be using for this raid. Okay, so what happens was that the group was starting to have issues, and I had to switch over to troll and save the group in many situations, as I do. And I know how to at many forms of my life of this playing this game of this career of like just in general. So I just had to switch because the troller was having some issues of staying up and staying alive, and basically I was doing a really good job DPSing at this time, but he ended up making me have to switch. But what I would tell you about this boss that has pretty much nothing special, you are going to be DPSing this boss. It's going to be focused on the tank. There will be ads spawned throughout the area that you are in, but you most likely have to move away from those areas where those ads are popping up, and likewise getting away from those ads because those ads are pretty strong and they can do some really major damage. But for the most part, I saved the group and I got everybody involved, and I did what I had to do to make sure that everybody was secure and everyone was fine. But I would definitely like to say that this boss is pretty much the easiest boss that you would have to face in Phoenix, and likewise this is not going to be anything hard or anything too crazy challenging. You're going to, it's a DPS standpoint, you know, you DPS and you fight the ads and you stay away from ads, and you will be a very successful group coming in here and doing this. And likewise, as long as the tank has aggro and keeping control of all the ads and keeping everybody, you know, intact with knowing where all the ads are in just the area where it is, you will be pretty much fine. But for the most part, I will let you guys sit down, just watch it and see how everything worked out. I ended up playing this and I was very successful. If you guys can book one thing that I did perfect in here, I will let you guys know that you guys deserve to win a prize. I will let you guys know what that prize is at the end. And likewise, leave a comment of what you think what I did was correct and what was I doing correctly that made me stay alive for the longest time and did not fall. So I'm just wondering if you guys see what I'm going to show you guys when you see the scoreboard. And I want you guys to put it in the chat room, or not in the chat room, but in the description below, and write what did I do correctly to make myself be successful in this group. Okay? So I will take you guys to the next boss and I'll explain that a little bit more thorough and let you guys know what you guys have to do there. For the most part, this is pretty easy. DPS the boss, watch out for ads, and stay alive. Okay? See you guys soon.
show you the truth. Together we can save them all. Even Carter.
I want to hope again.
My lasso will restore you to your true self.
Wonder Woman?
We're in this together, Hawkgirl.
Let's go punch a hole into another universe.
Finally caught up to us, have we?
We've recalibrated the Thanagarian's weapon to fit our needs.
The Phoenix cannon will speed up Earth sinking into the Dark Multiverse.
Relish the fear growing in your bellies. You cannot fight the darkness!
Batman always wins.
So the Dark Multiverse final battle of Phoenix Tier 10 is going to be something that I'm going to remember for a very long time. I haven't seen so much bosses in one fight in so long, and this is one of those fights that you see all of them come together and work on the common goal, defeat anybody in their way. Okay, so now as I'm giving you some tips, I'm going to let you know the animations in this is pretty much straightforward with all the bosses, and they have their special ability, and they have a time when they hit it, and when they have a skull above their name, they basically hit their super move, and usually that will take place. Okay, if you are not familiar with the animations, you should really take a consideration to doing all those missions, those alerts, and those raids before this, so you can kind of understand what they're capable of doing. Last but not least, I will let you know that I was really happy to be in here with a group that actually knew what to do. Okay, so I will let you know that there's going to be sometimes an axe or some type of blade that is going to be hovering around the air by itself, and no one's going to be controlling it. It's just going to be moving around in a circle where you are going to be hit and damaged if you do not take consideration to looking at that situation. Okay, and likewise there will be pools of ads coming out from the ground that is going to bring up some metal enemies, okay, that you are going to have as situations. The most key thing that I will let you know about this is that for the normal one, you have to have a lot of shields. The tank will have to go through an onslaught of taking so much damage that you're going to have to pop some shields at a certain time to give and free up some space for the tank to actually feel some freedom of some ability of understanding that he's getting shielded. Okay, last but not least, if everybody in the group runs with a shield and you can actually protect yourself in many situations, you are using a defensive move that will protect you in a fight that would require the group not to pick you up for certain situations, but you would see it if you see it. Okay, last but not least, this tank that was in here was a very good tank, and he or she was a very strong and worthy of like defeating all these characters and being in front of all those characters and defeating these characters. Likewise, if your troller is not strong with his dominance where they can stun ads and keep them up for a long time for those for your own tank could actually get out and break out of spots, you're going to have a problem. Okay, you're going to have a serious problem. If you are dependent on very much your tank to actually stun those ads and most likely keep them in one spot, you are sadly mistaken. You as a troller will have to be able to stun those ads and keep them frozen for a time being so that tank could breathe for a moment being. And if you're not running a shield, you need to put a shield in your loadout to make sure the group has some group shields and likewise power over time for situations to be picking up. So as we are moving forward, you are going to be DPSing for the next like 3 to 4 minutes. You will see this area where you're going to see some crystals like looking like a very hard light construct, and you are going to have to stay in the middle of them. The reason why is because they have an effect where they do damage over time, or a great amount of damage hit one burst for a time being if the timer goes off. So it's like a ticking time bomb that you have to sit in and wait for the time bomb to actually give in where the time runs out. And if you are in it, you are protected. If you're outside on the outer side, you will be hit by those ads. No, I should say those attacks. Okay. Likewise, Red Death actually spawns off some area effects where you are going to see some images of like very quick, like he's speeding time up, and you do not want to stand in those area effects because they linger around the edges of the playing field, and they move around too, so you can be careful with those ones. You can actually be hit by those and be really hurt, okay? And likewise, I will let you know that uh, there's a new character in town, and she has some killer waters. She has those moves that can stun you for a period of time, a couple seconds, I would say 5 seconds at most. But the tank is usually going through the onslaught of those big situations, and you got to be very cautious when you are doing that. As a support role, you want to protect them, uh, the the tank as much as possible. So I was one of the characters that was able to stay alive in many of these strong hits. And likewise, when you are focused, don't be scared. Get away from the group, block. And likewise, what's happening right now is that there's going to be an attack where you are going to be in a line of sight with two other characters. You and another character will have a laser or some electricity pulse between you, and you have to be able to get away. There's going to be area effects damaging enemies and stuff like that. And unfortunately, we did this with one healer, and another healer went down. No one picked the healer up, unfortunately, so that healer was able to doing it by itself. And from what you see on the right hand side of your screen, you can see those dark, I should say, those red deaths move, and you do not want to stand in those because those do damage over time, and they're not really good. Likewise, when you see a puddle of metal, nth metal, you do not want to stand in those. They do damage over time too. And likewise, you might be shot with a like an invisible, surprisingly, invisible AoE attack, or you would say damage over time. Okay, so you got to stand in the loop, and I was trying to make sure the group was letting them know, and you can see that person ran over, was too late, and took damage. So you want to be in the middle, and you will not receive any type of damage, and you will be really good for the situation. This is the part where I was talking about. Stay away from that person, and you do not want to stay close, because if you stay close, you are going to cause a charge that's going to blow up, that's going to do a really good strong damage towards you. Red Death actually does not fall down immediately. You have to take out the other characters before taking out Red Death. Red Death will be the last character that you would be working on, and that's how you know you are proceeding in the right section of area when you are fighting this battle for Phoenix on tier 10. This one is going to be really good, man. I had so much fun going through here. I found a group that knew what they were doing, and that was the best part about it. When you have a group that knows what they're doing, everything's coordination wise is really good. The tank was amazing, and I had fun. Most part, coming in here, you got to come in here with some prior knowledge about what's going on in here, as like damage over time that's going to be happening over around here. And you are just going to see the same thing: ads, area effects, damage over time moves all around on the playing field, and you want to be able to get to these spots so you do not take any type of damage. And from what you can see, my life didn't really move unless I was hit by one of the ads, and that's basically how it's supposed to be. And the tank was maneuvering around and maneuvering around, pulling and maneuvering around, and I was stunning them as much as I possibly can, giving the tank some room and breathing room, and keeping crowd controlled. Okay, so I hope you guys like the video and subscribe to my page. I will be showing some more videos very soon on the last raid that just took place with the cards, and I will show you that. So please stay in tune to that, and I hope you guys just see what I was able to do from a controlling aspect, and I was able to do as much as I possibly can, feed the power to the group, and make sure that everybody was secure with knowing that they had some power to do their moves and run their loadouts and keep themselves alive. Okay, so I hope to see you guys again. My name is Chris Dash, and I'll see you soon. And likewise, always stay positive, and make sure you know to yourself that when you put yourself in a position, you be the strongest that you can. And likewise, watching this video will help your IQ and help you well with many decision making in many decisions as like seeing these effects happen to you. Okay, so I'll see you guys soon. I appreciate you guys watching my videos, and I will make some more for you guys that will increase your DC IQ. Alright? Peace.
Done yet, Batman?
Batman always wins.
Did Batman just make a joke? Maybe it really is the end of all worlds.
I've opened a portal to the Dark Multiverse, but we need to hurry. Gather a team. This road may lead to darkness, but now it's on our terms.
Batman, Wonder Woman, and Hawkgirl, who is calling herself Lady Blackhawk now, are ready to dive into the Dark Multiverse. Confronting Barbatos on his home turf is terrifying, but we knew the stakes were going to be high.
You thought the video was over. You thought I forgot. If you tell me what I did perfect, I will give you an aura or a material. Okay? Comments. I need to hear them.